Committee, Finance and Personnel, and Roxanne Murphy is the chair.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Finance and Personnel Committee. I'm joined on this committee by Council Members Hamel and Lillquist. We have two agenda items today. The first is an ordinance amending the 2015-2016 adopted budget, appropriating an additional 1.122 of expenditures to account for a change in accounting practices. And Finance, will you please take us away?
Thank you. Brian Henshaw, Finance Department. I just want to reiterate, this is only an accounting change, so it does not impact the actual expenditures for the budget. But in the Medic One budget, we have historically budgeted the revenues for the pass-through tax that we then remit to the county just as a contra account, a negative amount on the revenue side. Historically, that's worked. The state now is asking that we show both the revenue coming into the city and the expense going from the city to the county. And the main reason for this is that the state now rolls up all of these into one report, and they can easily track all of the different taxes, where they go to the cities, and then where they show up ultimately, and they can account for it basically. So for that reason, we're asking you to approve this budget ordinance, and it won't change the net numbers for the Medic One, but it will give us the spending authority for 2015 and 2016 to account for this tax revenue.
Thank you. Councilmember Hamel, please.
Move approval.
Okay, we have a motion to move approval. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. We will bring this forward tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. And the next agenda item is an ordinance amending the 2015-2016 Medic One budget for vehicle purchases, facilities repair, and salaries.
Good afternoon, Bill Newbold, Fire Department. And the ordinance in front of you today amends the Medic One budget and takes the amount of $320,000 from the Medic One reserves and allows us to expend that here in 2016. The three items that were identified, the bulk of it, $220,000, is for the retroactive salary and benefits per the collective bargaining agreement that was settled. And then the remaining $100,000 is split up equally, $50,000 to purchase a new medic unit, and then $50,000 for unplanned expenses for repairs at our Station 10, which is off of Smith Road, our medic station there. There was some issues with the floor that had to be repaired, floor replacement, cabinets, etc. Approximately $50,000.
Great. Thank you, Chief. Committee members, please. Councilmember Hamel.
So, Chief, this is coming out of the reserve fund for Medic One?
That's correct. It is not the general fund. It is not general fund City of Bellingham reserve. It is the reserve of the enterprise fund for Medic One.
Okay. I have a couple of questions, if that pleases the chair. So there's a capital outlay of $302,250 for projected for 2017. That is not what this is, what you're proposing today, is that correct?
That is correct. The amount projected for the next biennium budget is for an additional medic unit, and then also our EMS supervisor unit, both of which are scheduled to be replaced.
Okay. In the past 4 years, including 2016, there were surpluses, but in 2017, there's a projected deficit of 169,619, and I'm just curious as to how that's going to affect the 2018 projected surplus of 77,499. How this would affect that.
Right. So some of these purchases are coming from the reserve, which we've been managing within the enterprise fund under our contracted amount, and then even prior to, we went to the new contract with the county. And these were primarily from the replacement vehicles that had been scheduled. Previously, we had identified a re-chassis. It was a recommendation from our fleet management, internal in the fire department, to go ahead and replace that vehicle. We have 3 aging medic units. So all 3 of those at the conclusion of the 17-18 budget will be replaced. And so that does have an impact on the reserves, but is all still managed within the medic fund.
One more question. Are capital outlays typically part of this fund, or is that? I'm trying to understand the fund just a little bit better.
Yeah, okay. Yes, they are. So I think Bill explained it. We're a little bit behind on the replacement, so they do one major repair and one capital replacement of an ambulance unit. We are behind, so we're trying to do 2 this year, and that's why the extra money was needed. But most of this budget ordinance pertains to the retro pay and then the repairs to the facility, not the ambulance unit per se. But we do try to replace this and keep that fund balance self-sufficient to pay for all the repairs and all the replacement vehicles that are needed in there. We're just a little bit behind and catching up. We also order those, and I'm not sure, are they both going to be delivered this year? Or?
2 of them already have been delivered.
so-
Just this past week, Friday, they arrived and are over at the city fleet.
Council members, any questions? Committee members, is there a motion? Councilmember
Move
Hamel.
approval.
Okay. Motion is to move approval of the ordinance amending the 2015-2016 Medic One budget for vehicle purchase, facilities repair, and salaries. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries, and we will bring this forward tonight. End of committee.